As always, thank everybody for coming out. Certainly making a great atmosphere for our athletes, and obviously want to give you guys more opportunities to get up on your feet and get excited. That's the first thing want to be able to do. Second, want to send some prayers and love to J.J. Everhart and his family. Many of you know his father passed away last Thursday, so he's back home right now. Want to stay for the team, wrestled for the team, and I know it's a tough thing, very tough thing to do. So I know our whole team appreciated it, and I appreciate that, how he looked at his teammates, and it's a family, and how he was going to be there for them. And then Saturday morning he got home to his family. So it's a tough conversation to have. It's one as a coach where, hey, we 100%, man, go be with your family. And he said, well, right now my family's here. So that's the type of kid he is, and really appreciate him going out and competing for us. So if you see him, give him a big hug, because we can always use one of those. So, and he's a big guy. Don't worry though. He'll hug you back though, because he's that kind of guy. So, but as far as the meet goes, Dylan Peters is okay, and it was his other knee. So I know everyone gasping. That's about as quiet as I've heard the West Gym get. So it wasn't the knee. It's not the same knee. So you can stop worrying about that ACL's in trouble. That ACL's fine. But obviously got to get him, in the right frame of mind. He lobbied for a long time. He wanted to wrestle that match, and that's something where you got a guy who's been through a lot of wars and a lot of battles, and you want to give that guy that opportunity. He went out there for him. He went out for the team. Is that the best Dylan Peters you're going to see? 100% not. You're going to continue to see a better Dylan Peters every time out. Something, if anybody's been injured before, sometimes you have to get over some things in your head. And the only way to get over some of those things is you have to go out there and do it, and realize that you're still okay. And then you get a guy like Elber who swings it back. And I don't know if anyone saw, but he was pointing at JJ. He's like, that was for you. That was for you, man. You inspired us. So kind of see those type of things. It's for me as a coach that makes you proud. It makes you feel good. I mean, those are moments that hey, okay, they're really listening. They're buying into what we're talking about. That this is bigger than just about me. This is about team. This is about something more. And in kind of that moment, that's something that Elber's a pretty emotional kid, and I thought that was pretty cool that he did that. And then some matches along the way. We have chances in those next few matches, but I said it, and I kind of said it over and over again. But there's a difference when a team goes out expecting to win, and they step on that line and they're expecting it, and a team that's not sure. And sometimes when you're not sure, when those situations and those moments are me or him, it ends up being him. And so we got to get to where we expect to win, no matter who we wrestle, whatever numbers beside their name. That can't matter. And some of those guys did that. But I saw and I watched the film again. We had opportunities where we can swing it back in our way, or we can put a nail in the guy's coffin, and we weren't able to do it. And that's some of that is being young, but I'm not all for these moral victories. I know this guy, it was great, this was awesome, this was great. Lujan expected to win that match. He's not happy with, he came close, he's the number 2 guy in the country, that was really good, It was, man, he had him on the ropes. So, yesterday talking to him, you had that guy on the rope, the number 2 guy in the country, you had on the ropes, he was ready to go the other way, and you got to be ready to push him over the edge and believe that you're that good. So in those moments, man, to me, that's the difference between being there and not sure yet. And we got to get our guys sure. And we're going to continue to work to do that. But so there certainly is some promise, though. It's not like, I kind of said in one of the interviews, I'm not ready to go dig a hole yet. Got a lot of fight left in me. And so does our team. But being young doesn't mean that you can't have an impact now. So that's kind of what we're telling them. I know we're a young team. We got some old mixed in there, but these young guys, their expectations are going to continue to raise. So kind of went here and there and everywhere, but I thought that after 57 we came back. Steyer did a good job, got bonus points for us, and then 74-84, those guys gave themselves opportunities to win the match, and that's what you got to be able to do. Some of these matches got lopsided, and you got to be able to keep yourself in the match in some way, shape, or form. And it doesn't matter who you're wrestling or what numbers beside their name. And we got to get guys thinking that more. But I thought those guys, at least they scored multiple attacks on those guys. So hey, we can score on top 2 guy in the country. We can put that guy where we got him on the brink. And to me, that's something that we can build off of, and we're going to build off of. So I know Sunday against Old Dominion, MAC tournament or MAC team. They got beat by Missouri and in North Carolina so far this year, but certainly have some strength in their lineup. The strength's kind of 65, 84, 97, all top 10, 12 guys. And then they got some young guys. They'll be ready to wrestle. Martin's a good coach, has those guys prepared. So our guys got to get back up. We'll have a good week of training. No school this week, so we were in this morning, getting back to work. We gave up riding time, I think, in 7 matches. That's hard to win. I'm trying to think. I mean, it's like you might have some stats, but I don't know what the percentages are. You win a match if you give up riding time. I mean, I'd like someone to find out. They can't be very good. So we got to be able to get off the bottom, and that's what we spent some time this morning doing. You're going to see that as a young team. Unfortunately, I can tell you from experience, man. My freshman year, I got ridden like a dog. It was awful. Got to be where you just hated being on the bottom, and then you went back to work that whole spring and summer and fall, and you didn't want to get ridden anymore. And some of that there's some skill to it, there's no doubt, but then there's a lot of attitude to it too. So getting those guys to kind of have that attitude, and same thing when a guy gets up to his feet, being able to put him back down to the mat. There's some attitude things there, and there's some belief things there, and it kind of goes back to expecting to win, not to be handed to you, but when you go out and compete a certain way and you got a little swagger to you, things are a little bit different. So that's what we're going to work on doing. Any questions?